In this video, you will learn how to embroider this Mudcloth tribal design on top of a crochet coaster. I'm using a lighter color swatch so it's easier for you to see the stitches and 2 strands of black yarn held together with a tapestry needle. We'll start with this bottom square zigzag design. We'll use the single crochet rows and stitches as a guide to keep our design straight. First, count up 2 rows. Insert your needle there from the back of the coaster. Count straight down 2 rows and insert the needle again. Pull the yarn through. Count over 2 stitches and insert the needle again from the back of the coaster. Insert your needle back again into that same spot to connect to the lines. Count up 2 rows again and pull the yarn through from the back. The next line will go across the top. Count over 2 stitches and insert the needle. Now go back again into that same spot to connect the lines. The next line will go down. Just continue to keep repeating this pattern all the way across. The next design is the mini cross stitch. 1 cross will be made over the top of 1 single crochet. So we'll make an X, skip a stitch, and make another X. Insert the needle from the back and again diagonally across the same stitch. Pull the needle through the top space. Keep those ends out of there. And back down to create the X. Skip the next stitch and make another X in the following single crochet. On to the arrow design, which is worked across 3 rows. These are the 3 rows we'll be using. Insert the needle from the back into the first row. Count 2 stitches across, but insert the needle into the middle row. Straight up from the back of that bottom line into the 3rd row, insert the needle again from the back. And connect the lines to form your first arrow. The back of the next arrow will begin in line with the point of the previous arrow and in the first row. Count ahead 2 stitches and up to the middle row. Count up to the 3rd row and straight in line from here. The next arrow begins in row 1, straight down from the point of the last arrow. Count over 2 stitches and up to the middle row. Insert the needle. Now go straight up to the 3rd row again and insert your needle from the back of the coaster and connect the line to make the arrow. The last design is the large cross stitch. This design is worked over 4 rows. Insert the needle from the back into the 1st row. Count up 2 rows and over 1 stitch. From here, you're going to go over 2 stitches and still in the 1st row. And then insert the needle back into that same center spot. Now working straight up from this bottom line into the 4th row and back into the center to connect the lines. In line with this side and straight across in the 4th row. Back into the center again. I added a small dash in between each cross stitch. To start the next cross stitch, you're going to skip 1 stitch and start the next cross stitch beginning in row 1. Count up 2 rows and over 1 stitch to the center space. Straight up into that 4th row again and then back to the center. When you get to the end of your yarn and you need to tie off, I like to insert the needle into a small loop, not going all the way through to the front of the coaster. Pull it through but leave a small loop to insert your needle back into. Pull it tight to form a knot.